Okay, well, we have an hour, and I want to get in and get out because I really want you guys to hear from Nicole. So I'm going to just first start by saying I met so many of you guys at convention, and I loved like putting faces. I know Facebook is, you can kind of see pictures and see people's stories, but it was so good to like actually meet a ton of you, have conversations. So for anyone that came to get a t-shirt or just came to say hi, I loved meeting you guys. Speaking of t-shirts, we do have a lot left. We are mailing those out this week, so hopefully you guys will see those next week in time for the rally. And if anyone does have an issue with that, send an email at ylrally at Young Living, and we'll figure it out. So I know it's probably been a whirlwind for you guys. It's been a whirlwind for us here. We had convention, straight into our global summit, but I hope you guys have had a little bit of rest because our rally is literally next week. And we have a lot of really good stuff, so I'm excited about it. It's going to be different than last time. We're not going to be able to put together a complete presentation for you guys because honestly we have so much stuff. We have 13 global videos, so that in itself is awesome, but you guys are going to have to decide what's important for you to show. In terms of the slide decks, we're going to have, our corporate message. We'll have basically everything is going to be supplemental, but our theme going into the rally is bring convention home. We had about 35,000 people at convention, but we're going to have around 200,000 people viewing all of our collateral for the rally. So videos, PowerPoints, whatever it is you guys decide to show. So we want to make sure that you guys know your audience. Nicole's going to talk about it a bit today, how to make it fun, how to make it your own event. So we will have a kind of a sample show flow that'll be in the host toolbox that you can kind of check out. It's mostly for new people that have never done one, but it's not going to be how we've done it before where how many product launches, how many videos we have, because there's honestly just so much. So it's going to be supplemental, really. We want to bring convention home, and then we want to carry on Gary's legacy and share his vision with everybody. So that's pretty much our theme this quarter. There's a lot of people saying hello. You would love a sample agenda. So again, though, use the sample agenda just kind of as a skeleton, as a guide. So it's more to help you when you're new to transition into kind of doing an icebreaker welcome, having some recognition if your team is there and you have people that have upranked, playing games, giving swag away, that kind of thing. Especially if you're doing it in your home, you can do DIYs, or you can make it a little more personal. So it's just an example. You don't have to follow it to a T. Somebody's asking, what do we pick and choose what to use? So that's the hard part about this one. Like I said, it's not going to be just one presentation. You're going to have to go through it, look at the videos, look at the PowerPoints, and decide what's important for what message you're giving in your rally and who your audience is. If you want it to be more product focused, we're going to have all the products launched from convention. So, that in itself is a lot. So you might decide that you want to do parts of that, but you don't want to talk about every single product launched. So it's really going to be up to you on that. And just so you guys know, right now we have over 3,000 hosts around the world registered. So that's incredible. Those are huge numbers. The biggest number since I've been here. So that's super exciting. And so yeah, I'm going to talk about a few housekeeping things after, but right now, really, I want to talk about and introduce Nicole. Nicole Dodge is a diamond from, Nicole, how do you say your hometown?
Stanton, Virginia. If you say it with a U in it, during the Civil War. Side note, during the Civil War, my town is spelled Staunton, and if you came from the north and you said Staunton, they would shoot you because they knew you were a Northern spy.
Fun fact, history fact of the day. So I was actually going to pronounce it Staunton, so I'm really glad I asked you that. But Nicole lives with her husband Andrew, who is a chiropractor. She has 4 kids. She just had Benjamin in March, so she's really going to talk about how she managed to do a rally while having a child the week before. Right? The week before?
He was 3 weeks old at the rally.
Okay, he was 3 weeks old. Okay. That's awesome. And Nicole, I actually want you to kind of introduce yourself, kind of tell us your Young Living story, how you got started, and why you decided to build a business and how you got to where you are right now.
Totally. Awesome. Thank you so much, first of all, for having me on here, Laura. You guys, I just got to meet Laura for the first time at convention, like 10 days ago or something. How long have we been home? Just all feels like it all
feels like last week.
And it was so great because we had talked so much on, we talk so much on Facebook. We see each other through screens all the time. And like, it is so good to hug people's necks in person. And it's just good to see people. So it was so great to meet Laura, to meet some of her team. We have been doing the Live Your Passion rallies since they began. And so I don't know, does that make this our 8th one?
Yeah, this will be the 8th one.
So from the very first one, and our very first one, we had like 275 people there. So I realized that when I talk, I'm going to talk from probably a different place than the place that you guys are hosting your rallies from. But I also coach people in my team how to host their own rallies. So I am going to try to talk to some of you guys who are hosting rallies in your own homes as well, because I realize that most people are not hosting a rally of hundreds. You're probably hosting a rally of dozens, but not hundreds, okay? So like Laura said, I am from Virginia. I was born here. I moved to Dallas, Texas with my husband right after we got married, which is almost 9 years ago. And so I actually signed up for Young Living when I was not when I was in Dallas, right after I moved back to Virginia, but I signed up with friends in Dallas. My sister-in-law and my brother-in-law actually are my uplines. And sorry, the fax machine's going up. They are in Dallas, and all of their uplines are in Dallas. So when I moved back to Virginia, no one was using Young Living that I knew. We used to call ourselves an island out here on Virginia, even though we're in the middle of the Eastern Seaboard, because all of our uplines weren't local. And for a long time, I thought that meant that I couldn't get Young Living education. I was really opposed to doing the Young Living business initially. And when we were just using oils, people in our community started asking us what we did, why our family was so healthy all winter long while everybody around us seemed to be dropping like flies. And I used to talk about this thing called thieves, and people would look at me like I had 6 heads. So I really started teaching and telling people about oils simply because I didn't want people to look at me like I was crazy anymore. We figured if we could make everybody weird too, then they couldn't look at us like we were insane. So we didn't really know that we knew there was some sort of business structure behind Young Living, but didn't really know what it was or how it worked. We just knew that the oils were awesome. So my husband and I started teaching classes in his office. And we would have 6 people. We were in a very tiny office at that point. We could fit 6 people in the waiting room, and we would teach a class once a month to 6 people. And it was always full because people were very curious about our family and what they were doing, and how we used these things on our kids. And then we would tell them, and we have these oils on our shelf. You can buy them at retail cost. If you want to buy 1 diffuser and 1 bottle of Thieves, that'll be $145. Thank you very much. And so that's all we knew, because we thought that was how people made money in Young Living. And we did that for a year, an entire year. We taught to 6 people a month, and we helped a lot of people get a diffuser and a bottle of Thieves for $145 off of our shelves. And a friend of mine posted on Facebook that she had paid her mortgage 1 month with her Young Living check. And I was like, time out. How many bottles of Thieves did she sell to other people? Like that is crazy. And I reached out to her. Her name is Dr. Cindy Hagerton. You guys may know her as Dr. Jim Bob Hagerton's wife. And I reached out to her and I said, hey, we have a Young Living account too. And we help people get Thieves. Everybody likes Thieves because that was like the only oil we used. So it was the only one that we could talk about. And I reached out and asked her what I was doing wrong. And she showed me the income disclosure statement and a video of the compensation plan. And I dove in with 2 feet. We were at a really, really hard spot in our lives after opening Andrew's chiropractic office. It was just hard to bring patients in the door. We were really struggling financially to the point where I was praying for God to show us a way to keep food in our refrigerator to feed myself, my husband, who's type 1 diabetic. I was pregnant at the time, and our 20-month-old son. And I would pray for God to somehow take care of us. And a family friend would call and would say, hey, we made a ton of leftovers and my husband hates leftovers. I have part of this casserole. Can I bring it by your house? I was just thinking about you guys. And so prayer after prayer was answered, and we realized we were meant to do something else here. So Young Living showed itself to me, and I said, all right, let's do this, God. You gave me some answers to prayer. I was praying for an answer. I was praying for a way to take care of our family. Here we go. And that was, we had a Young Living account for just over a year when I actually started doing the business. From the time we started doing the business until the time we hit Diamond was 2 years and 8 months. Because I stuck my head to the ground and ran really hard. And I'll be really honest with you guys and tell you that my push from platinum to diamond, I very much credit with the energy that the Live Your Passion rallies brought. That was the very first rally. I hit diamond the month after we hosted our very first rally. And I think that it was largely in part to the energy that the rally brought to our team, to our local team. A lot of our team is nearby. Not all of our team is nearby, but because we moved to Virginia, we wanted to create our own community because in our minds no one else was using Young Living. We created a community here because we knew how important that was going to be. That support system is, and that's really what the rallies are giving you guys the chance to do, is to bring people together and to create the community that you want. That's what I love so much about the rallies. Like I'm the kind of person, I know some of you guys out there are really green personalities and you guys want like a step by step. And I'm very red. I'm red blue, if you guys know personality colors. But some of you guys want like a really specific checklist and a really specific flow of how your day is supposed to run. But here's the truth. It is your business and you know what your team needs. So I was talking to somebody the other day on my team who's going to host her very first rally. And she was saying like, well, what do I do? And I was like, well, what do your members need? Are you inviting members or are you inviting prospects? Like that's your first question. Who's coming? Who's coming to your event? If you're inviting prospects, you probably don't want to spend time delving into all of the ins and outs of the feelings kit because people can't really get started with the feelings kit. That's when you want to talk about a 101. You want to talk about the basics and help them get started with a premium starter kit. If you have a bunch of people who are coming who have their starter kits, a great next thing to teach on would be, of course, the convention products, but also essential rewards. So, we're going to be in July, which means our convention products will be available on Essential Rewards. Talk about Essential Rewards at your event. You can make it your own. We vary our event every single time. We always have a 101 incorporated somewhere in there because we know we have new people coming. Our event is really long. We have a full 8-hour day, but you don't have to do that. You can do a 90-minute Live Your Passion rally if that's what works for you and for your folks. I get that people are busy. Maybe you have a bunch of moms who are coming and they just can't get childcare or something. Do a DIY that a mom and a little kid could do together. Make some Play-Doh together, talk about the convention products. It can be as casual or as formal as you want it to be. And that's what I think is so cool. And I know it drives some of you guys crazy because you want someone to tell you what to do, but you're not an employee, you're an entrepreneur. So you get to choose what works best for your team, okay? So I'm just gonna kind of tell you guys a little bit about our processes with Live Your Passion and what that looks like for us, what it looks like for us. Actually, will you guys do me a favor? So I have the chat box open. I'm not going to keep an eye on the questions. Laura, will you kind of take note of like major questions?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, I am going to ask you guys, if this is your first rally that you're hosting, can you type a 1 in the chat? And if this is not your first rally, maybe just type the number or just type 2+ or something so that I have an idea who is on here. So it's a lot of folks who are first timers.
Yeah, lots. First and second.
Yeah, awesome. And some of you guys I see some of you guys are 7s and 8s and 6s. Okay, so this is great. So that gives me a good idea. All right, so I'll tell you, the very first rally is the hardest because you've never done it before. And the great thing about having never done it before is you get to decide what it looks like. But once you kind of get a format and a flow set that works for you, you kind of just get to plug and play. So at our very first event, we decided that we wanted to run it kind of similarly to convention, where we had everybody together in the morning, and then we did some breakout, more subject-specific things in the afternoon. You could very much do something like that, even if you're doing it in your home, where you could do kind of some general announcements, general things first, and then you could go into something more subject-specific, like convention products, like the compensation plan, like essential rewards, something like that. So we've kind of always followed that flow. It worked well for us at the beginning. We would do a big event or everybody together in like a general session in the morning. We'd break for lunch, and then we would do some breakout sessions in the afternoon. So we've kind of stuck with that. However, we have some big speakers coming to this rally, and so we've actually done away with breakout sessions in the afternoon for this event just because it didn't fit with what we wanted to get to the audience. So you can always change that up. Venue-wise, I saw somebody asked about our venue. So we actually use hotels. I know some people use churches, and if you use your church, that is awesome. This is just me personally. I prefer to use a hotel because I like the professional venue, and some people feel very strange coming to things at churches if they're not necessarily religious. So and if your community is religious and they have no problem doing something at a church, that totally works. But we kind of have a mixed group, and I don't want them turned off from a venue or from an event because of the venue. And if you're doing it at your home, totally do it at your home, rock it at your house, invite people over like their family. Okay, so we always have planning meetings ahead of time. So I don't just like walk into a rally and just start. That would be crazy. I would never be able to do that. We kind of get together a list of, so we know who's coming, we know who our target audience is. At this point, we've actually done surveys at the end of each of our rallies. Initially, when the rallies were set up, we were told that this was kind of a leadership type event. It was a way to keep like business builders kind of rolling and moving in their businesses. And so for my first couple rallies, I kind of tried to gear the information presented at like executives and silvers. And as I did more rallies and took more surveys, I realized that the majority of people, just like our income disclosure statement says, the majority of the people there were distributor through senior star. So rather than doing high-level leadership stuff, which would be great for like a team training that's just my own, that's a special leadership day or something like that, I started going back to basics, the basics of the compensation plan, the basics of the income disclosure statement, the basics. Oops, I think somebody's unmuted.
Yep. Hey, Katie, can you mute yourself? Katie Lynn.
Oops, so sorry about that.
You're so good. Don't worry.
So making sure, that you are, so for us, I've realized over time, you guys, and it's taken eight events is like 2 years worth of stuff. It's not like, I learned this all in 10 minutes, that I needed to go back to the basics, focus on 101, do some, emotional release information about oils. There's so many books that we have out there where we can gather information that we can teach. Life Science Publishing has a million options now, way more than when I started building. So if you need something subject specific to teach and you don't know the information, you can easily go look, immerse yourself in a little bit of that knowledge, and then you can teach it. So we figure out who's coming, and then that gives us an idea about what we might want to teach on. Again, on these surveys that I do at the end of the rally, I ask people for their input. I say, what do you want to know? What speakers would you like to see at future events? What topics would you like to see covered at future events? And you're not going to know that for the first one. But you can, that doesn't mean that you can't ask your friends or just listen in conversation with people to figure out what it is, the information that people are craving, the information that people need from you. And then we kind of build a schedule around that. Leave some wiggle room because my very first rally, they gave us a sheet that said, we got the videos and none of them were the links that were on that example sheet. And had I felt like that was the only way that I could do things and I had gotten the videos, my whole life would have been blown out of the water, because we got the videos like Thursday night, 10 p.m., and the event was Saturday morning. And I had actually my Crown Diamond uplines who were in town for the event there that I had to kind of entertain, and I had an event to set up on Friday. I didn't have time to have a panic over my show flow not matching what Young Living gave me. So I just always try to build in some break time. And then if I need to adjust the break time to fit the videos, then I do that. So the name of the game is flexibility. But Young Living's also gotten really great about shortening the videos. Like we had videos at certain points that were like 9 minutes long and 10 minutes long. They were long. Now they're giving us videos that are more like 60 seconds to 2 minutes long, which are really easy.
Yeah, Nicole, if I can just jump in real fast too. Yeah, so we don't ever really want to have a video, honestly, more than like 3 minutes. And like with this rally, like I said, we have 13 videos to choose from and they're all amazing. But like you said, it's what fits. Do you need to show a little more about the company? We have obviously a lot of Gary stuff in this video because we just lost our founder. So that's pretty profound if you have a group of people that have kind of grown in the business and know who Gary is. Now, if you have a bunch of brand new people, that's probably not as applicable. And so like Nicole said, know your audience, choose what's right. But I just wanted to touch really fast because I think you hit the hammer on the nail. Is that the hammer on the, I don't know. I'm struggling. It feels like Monday morning to me. But you talked about the show flow. I know that, this is only my technically second rally running, and it's gotten better every single time, since they started them eight times ago. But I like to change it from show flow to sample agenda because we don't want to give you guys a show flow. And like you said, for the people that drives them crazy, that's tough. But I love what you said. I wrote it down. You're not an employee, you're an entrepreneur. So we want to give you guys a sample agenda, especially for first timers who are like, how do I even construct something? But we don't want to tell you exactly how long this should be and when you should play this and when you should talk about this, because you might not want to play everything or talk about everything, or, you know, like, so sample agenda is what we're going to use from now on, and you create your own show flow. If that makes sense.
Yeah, that's perfect. That's perfect. And that's the beauty of it, is that you really get to make it what you want it to be. So we sit and we plug in, and I should have, I don't know that I have one with me. I was going to grab so I could show you guys. I can post one of our sample, but again, my day is 8 hours long. Most of you guys are not running 8-hour days on these. I can show you guys what we've done in the past in the Facebook group, if that's helpful to anybody. But we sit in and we go, okay, you know, we want to talk about ER, we want to talk about 101, and we want to talk about convention products as an example. And then we say, okay, could we do each of those in, let's say, 30 minutes? So we go, okay, so I have 30 minutes for each of those. So that's 90 minutes. I'm going to need to do like intros and, you know, kind of welcome people and tell them how excited I am that they're here. We need to build in some bathroom breaks. Maybe I'm going to have some snacks, and, you know, maybe that's going to add another total 30 to 45 minutes. And then I know how long my event is going to be, officially, how long my event's going to be. Or if you've already published the length of time, then you might need to work backwards. You might say, okay, I told everybody we're going to be here for 2 hours, so I need each of my little sections to be 20 minutes long to take up 1 hour, and then, you know, 30 minutes of snacks and 30 minutes for, you know, videos, questions, that sort of thing. So depending on how you have advertised that. In terms of, so I'm going to talk real quick about some registration type stuff. So we sold our event out in 72 hours in April. So I have people contacting me right now going, is your event really sold out? It really is. This is the largest event that we have done. We have 520 people coming to this event, and we are limited by our venue size. Whether you have 520 people or 5 people, though, there are still basic steps that you can follow. If you guys can also type in the chat box so that I have an idea of the number of people that you expect, whether it's 5, whether it's 50, whether it's 100. Okay, so we have some who have larger rallies. Awesome. So there's some decent, so okay, so if you have a rally of 5 to 20 people, you may not have to do a super official check-in at your door. You might have, you know, if it's a rally in your home and you have 5 to 20 people, let's say 25 people, then you are going to greet people at the door like they're coming to your house for Sunday brunch. You don't need to be like super over the top official. You might want to have a name tag if all of those people don't know each other. You might want to get, like at Staples, it doesn't have to be like super beautifully printed or anything like that. Go to Staples, get some sticky name tags, get some markers so that the people in the room know each other, okay? Or at least can put a name to the face they're talking to. If you have a larger event, we do name tags at our events. We do all of our registration on Eventbrite, and Eventbrite will allow you to pull, and some of you guys use oily events as well. That'll allow you to pull a registration list from that event that you can then dump into a Word document template, and you can feed their special cutout papers from Avery. Avery is just like a paper company, and they have every template under the sun, and you can honestly just like plug and play straight into Avery's website and print name tags ahead of time if you want to. If you have, you know, you can also just have people write name tags. It's totally up to you. We print them. and we put them in lanyards. We make people leave the lanyards for us at the end so that it's not an additional expense for us every single time. But that is something that you can pull straight from your registration site. And that might just take a little bit of playing around with if you guys have more people who are coming. We have a registration table where people check in. And I will tell you, registration, I don't do it because it is not, I can tell you the basics of how we do it, but I could not run a rally of 520 people, or our other rallies have been about 350. I couldn't do that by myself. So here is where I delegate big time. So it's also important that you don't have too many cooks in the kitchen too. You want to find people who have really solid strengths, who know what their strengths are, and who are willing to pitch in. So on my team, the majority of our rally is run by me and 2 other girls. I don't care what their ranks are. I care that they have strong skill sets. So on my team, the girls that help me are an executive and a silver. And our event is public. It is open to all teams. It is not just for our team. But the girls who work with me are on my team because they're people that I work with on a daily basis. And one of my girls who is an executive fully runs registration for us now because she works at a local community, or she works at a local college, and she works in their IT department. And so pulling spreadsheets and turning that into a Word document that she can print things off of the printer is like a piece of cake for her. It is a walk in the park. She could do it all day long. Some of you are looking at me like, yes, I can do that. And some of you are looking at me like, I don't know what words are coming out of her mouth right now. And that's where you need to find someone who you know who could help you with that. Maybe it is a teen who lives in your house. My oldest child is 6 years old. So I joke, I have a set of diamonds on my team, Jenny and Ryan McManus, and their oldest child is 14 or 15, but he's a whiz on the computer. So sometimes they outsource things to their teen who can help them because he's just really good. Do you have a teen in your life who could help you with some of those things? Or do you just say, to heck with it, I'm going to just do handwritten name badges, okay? Don't make it harder than it needs to be. Make it what fits you and the skill sets you have available to you. It doesn't have to be skill sets that you have all by yourself, but it does have to be skill sets that are available to you. Also, I have a girl who is so green. She is so green on my team. She's green-red, so she is like perfectionist to a T. Her name is Courtney Thompson. I don't know if she's on this call or not. And she is so great at details. I am such a big picture thinker. I have some really awesome vision and I can execute, but when I execute, it looks like my 6-year-old went in and like hacked a piece of paper with scissors. Like that is and if my team is coming to something that I put on by myself, they know it's gonna be a little chaotic because that's me. But Courtney is very detail oriented and she thinks through the things that I don't think through at all. So we talk about, if you guys have heard trainings from other leaders, we talk about in this business about being like a hunter or just being like having a gun. There are people who are like aim, 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 and they never pull the trigger. And then there are people who are just like shoot, 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 and hope that they hit the target at some point. Like that's me. The second one is me. I just if I fail a lot in the process, it's okay, and I'm okay with that, and I own it. But I need someone who is a lot more aiming. And that is who Courtney is for me. She's very, very on top of those sorts of things. We also have people on our team who are very good at IT and technology type things. And so I have used them in the past. We use a venue now that kind of takes care of that sort of stuff for us. But before, we actually used to use a local community college as a venue, and they didn't have the IT staff on hand for us on the weekends, and that's why we were able to get such a good rate. So you may check if you have a local community college that has like a room that you could rent out. Usually if it's state funded, they kind of have to let locals utilize some of that stuff. And so we got great deals, but we lacked the IT support. And so we utilized some of the people on our team who are really good at the IT support type stuff. So if you were to come to our event, you would come in the front doors. We implemented something maybe 3 or 4 rallies ago that I actually saw at convention last year that I thought was so good. If you guys were at convention last year and you remember standing in the product lines, they were long. Or at the last couple of days, they were super long. And so they had people walking around with fanny packs that had oils in them. And they used to, they'd walk around and be like, hey, do you want to try some of these oils while you're waiting? And you got to put some oils on and calm down. And it was fantastic. And so we started, and it just made everybody in line like a lot happier and felt like they were really well taken care of, because like that's how people fall in love with our products, is they just experience them, right? So when you're greeted at the door of our rally, we have oil girls on both sides of the door, and they have a variety of oils, and they'll ask you, hey, welcome to the rally. We always greet people with a smile. We are always happy and energetic and excited to see them. Hey, how are you guys doing? Hey, we have some tangerine or some eucalyptus. Would you like to grab some of this today before you go in the door? And sprinkle a couple drops in their hands, encourage them to rub it on the back of their necks, smell it and breathe it in. So people are getting oils the second they walk into our event. And then they're going to walk up to the registration table. Our registration table, we probably have a total of 10 to 12 volunteers during the day. A lot of them are focused at registration because it's just a lot to get people in the door. So we're going to have different lines at registration broken up alphabetically. So we have an A to N line and an M through Z line for last names, and then we have a separate line for transfers as well. And so people go to their line based on what their last name is so that we can get people through faster. At our event, we also do swag because gift giving is my love language. So that is super important for me to send people home with something. If you are at this event coming up, maybe you guys do a DIY. If you have a smaller group, or if it's not in your budget, maybe do a quick DIY. You don't have to do swag by any stretch of the imagination. It's just something that's really fun for me to do, to dream up, to come up with. It's in my wheelhouse. It's in my strengths. So it's what I like to do. So we do swag. We used to hand people swag at registration, and we realized it slowed registration down. So we actually now place all of the swag on the tables. We do round tables at our event. So we have all of the swag already lined up. We set it the night before so that we can get people through registration faster. And this has all been feedback that has come from my girls at registration. So this is other people. This is how I was able to do a rally with a 3-week-old. It's because Jamie, who does registration, and Courtney, who is my straight shooting details person, were just on top of things. And then I MC the event, and I write out a very detailed schedule. We give the audience like an agenda, but it's really like high level stuff. I have my agenda written out to the minute. I say that my welcome and greetings and, I'm so excited you guys are here types things are going to take exactly 11 minutes. And I watch a clock on the wall in the room, and I make sure I'm done at 11 minutes because I really value people ending an event on time or pretty darn close. If you say that your event is going to go from 2 to 4 and your event goes from 2 to 4:45, your audience starts to get anxious, or they feel awkward having to stand up and leave. So I really try to stick to that event agenda. So, and then we just kind of roll. We just go one thing after another. I make sure that my speakers know what time they are getting up. I always make sure to edify my speakers, big time. If you get up and you are going to have somebody else from your team talk about about essential rewards. If you're not going to do that presentation, if you have somebody on your team who's going to talk about the value of essential rewards and you go, okay, now we're going to learn about essential rewards from Sarah, and you sit down, then everyone's like, all right, cool, we're going to learn about essential rewards. But if you go, hey, this is my friend Sarah, and she has been so big into couponing her whole life, and she totally gets the value of getting money back. Or she's a financial planner and she really understands the value of $1. Or she has 6 kids and so she really knows how to, make her dollar go further, or whatever it is. Say something that makes your audience know that that person is totally going to rock their world with the information that they're about to give them. So edify that speaker.
There's a few people that want to know about your swag and how much you charge for admission, since you do buy all this stuff to give out.
Yeah, totally. So, because we're doing larger events, we can have greater economies of scale. So we're able to print things sometimes at lower cost per piece. I always work everything into the cost of my ticket, okay? I have never been in the hole on a rally. I always work to break even, and if not, to have a little left over. I heard from Monique McLean one time that she always works to leave an event with at least the cost of the venue covered for her next event, like at minimum, just to have that there so that you're not trying to figure out where that money is going to come from to rent your space. So our events have ranged anywhere from $30 to $40, but it's an 8-hour event. We actually used to do a catered lunch in the middle of that for $40. My team, I told other leaders that, and they were like, do what? You have an 8-hour event and you have lunch in the middle of it? And I was like, yeah, we don't do lunch anymore. It's just gotten too big. But if you had a small event in your home, you could totally do lunch. It would be totally fun. It doesn't have to be catered. You could you could do potluck. You could have everybody bring stuff. You can do things for a lot less money than you think you can. Swag wise, I try to spend between $4 and $6 per person on swag. And then I find a way to make that happen. So sometimes that means we have a local, and you guys have these in any town. And if you don't have them in your town, just go on the internet. There are places like qualitylogoproducts.com, which we've used a lot for some promotional, they make this is my husband's pen here at the office. It's got his logo on a pen. Do you guys see? Or I don't know what else we have. I don't really have anything else up here. But anyway, they can put logos on things or put words on things or put whatever you want on things. And they can usually do things for relatively solid costs, especially if you tell them what your budget is. If you know that you have, you need to spend between, $4 and $5, and you have 100 people that you're trying to outfit with something between $4 and $5. They are usually really good about working on that with you. I do the graphic art stuff, but here's the deal. I am not a graphic artist. I could not use Photoshop if you paid me, but I can use my cell phone. So there are 2 apps on your cell phone that you can use to make pretty much any graphic on the face of the planet that you would ever want to use. One, let me turn this around so you can see it. One is called WordSwag. Okay, it's $5 once. The other is called Over. And that one, there's a free version of Over, and there is I pay for the upgraded fonts and stuff. But you can sit and manipulate text and all sorts of stuff with your fingers on your phone. So you can make graphic stuff and you send it to them and they make it look pretty on a mug or on a water bottle. We did these fold out picnic blanket things last time that were pretty fun.
Nicole, do you guys also use that to promote and market your event? I mean, obviously when you're on number 8, you've got people that come and you've established yourself, but for all these people that are brand new and are trying to, even get people to their event? Like, is this something that you utilize for your marketing as well?
Totally. So I tell people upfront what to expect. If anything, under promise and over deliver though, you guys. So don't go out there making all sorts of promises about how it's going to be like all this awesome stuff and then you can't deliver it. I've seen events do that and then they don't get people back because people don't trust them. But if it is something that, you want to tell, like initially offering lunch in the cost of the event was a big thing. I knew that if I could serve food, people would be there. So even if you're serving snacks, tell people, join us for a day of fun learning. You can expect raffles, if you have a few full fun things from convention or something to give away, or maybe you can expect a custom roller to take home with you. You can expect fun swag. You can just leave it really generic and you don't even have to say what it's going to be and then just surprise them when they get there. So yes, I include all of those things. And I'm just always sure to say, like, expect some great fun, great learning, great community, and some goodies to take home with you. Like, it can be really generic if you want it to be really generic, and then just let them. I don't tell people what swag is ahead of time. I love it to be this great surprise when they walk in the door. And I love to watch people's faces when they get in. Our first one, we did mugs, coffee mugs that said, "Y'all need oils" on them. And they were navy blue. I'll grab one at the end of this call. I have some more. They were navy blue and they had this really pretty gold foiling on them. And I think I got them for because we ordered 275 of them, I got them for $3 a piece or something. And they look like a $25 mug that someone would buy somewhere, because I didn't brand it. I didn't put my team name on it. I just wanted it to be a really fun gift for the people that were there. So yes, does that help?
Yes.
Okay.
That's awesome. What I just want to ask, because I know that we do have a lot of first timers on here. Yeah. What's your biggest takeaway from probably your first event, or what is something that you wish absolutely you would have known from day one before starting? Which obviously, you just went over so many amazing things. So
yeah, I just think that flexibility has to be the name of the game, because what happens if you set up the whole event? And so one thing for sure, make sure you know how to use PowerPoint if you're going to use PowerPoint, and make sure you know how to download those videos. I would not recommend streaming those videos live, because what happens if you get to your event venue and the wireless internet isn't working that day, or there are too many people on the wireless because of the number of people there and it stops streaming. It's really important to think through some of those things. Something that I've kind of learned over time has been make sure you have music or something fun playing when people walk in the doors. We didn't do that at the last event, and it was a rainy day out. So hours of the event, those sorts of those sorts of things for your actual event, and then just really being flexible. Gosh, I'm trying to think of things that we've had to just roll with. We're a featured event, which means we do have product that comes to our event from Young Living, which is such a huge blessing, and we really, really appreciate it. And so that's one thing that I get to put on my marketing is Young Living product available for purchase. Well, you know what? My second rally, the truck didn't show up. So we had no Young Living product available for purchase after I had told people Young Living product available for purchase. So the name of the game was flexibility. And so, I started talking with our leadership rep, immediately, okay, what can we do for these people? How are we going to make this up to them? what are we going to do? We have no product here. How are we going to talk about this product that isn't here? How are we going to tell them about Sleek and the Sleek Challenge? And how are we going to make this a success, even though there's nothing here for them to purchase? Like, so all these things that were going to happen didn't happen. And we had to find a way to make that work. So just being really flexible. We've had events where the microphones have gone out. We've had events where, there have been really long lines for things, and just, asking my volunteers to kind of like jump in when we need to. Like, we've had events where the hotel has asked us, they told us our last event actually, they told us we could bring our own food into the event, like for lunch, like everyone could bring their own lunch. And then the day of, the manager that was there told us we weren't allowed to eat in the room. And I was like, I have 350 people sitting here eating their lunches, and you're telling me I have to have 350 people leave this room? Like, what am I going to do right now? So I just grabbed some of the happiest people on my team to walk around and to deliver bad news to all of those tables and ask them to move out into the lobby due to health code. And I just had everybody do it with a smile on their face, and we just rolled with it. So whatever it is, I think keep a sense of humor, keep a smile on your face, look for what is good in the situation, because the way you act is the way that people will react to you. So if I would have gone around and been like, I can't believe it, the management is making us walk out of here and we have to all go in the lobby, and I think it's really stupid, but can you guys just help me out and walk out? Then everyone would have that same attitude. They would have been like, oh my gosh, oh my gosh, oh my gosh. Oh, and like, that's just drama. Like, there's no need for stuff like that. Just approach it with a happy heart, and people will bring a happy heart right back to you too.
Yeah, so we have a couple questions on here.
Yeah,
so, let's see. Andrea wants to know how you market: emails, phone calls, social media, text. And then there's a lot about the foundation on here. You guys, the foundation it's what you want it to be. So if you want to do an Inksha bar and you want to charge per shot, then that can all go to the foundation. Or somebody on here, sorry, they're going kind of fast. Jackie said that her Inksha bar is free, but that it's a suggested donation for the Hope for Justice. So that's it. Again, it's your event, so however you want to incorporate the foundation is up to you. But yeah, Nicole, if you want to talk about, just answer Angie's question about
how we market. And Jackie is brilliant too. Jackie is so sweet. If you guys ever get a chance to learn from Jackie, do it. So how do I market our event? So my very first event, the only marketing that we really did was Facebook. We created a Facebook event. We created an Eventbrite event because we needed somewhere for people to purchase tickets. And then I just talked to people. I called the people on my team, my leaders on my team, which were most of the people that I had personally enrolled. And I said, this is what we're doing. And we really, really talk heavily on our team about how leaders show up. So even if you feel like you are going to know everything that we are going to talk about that day, you show up, you buy a ticket, you show up, and you bring people with you, because it's going to be new information to somebody else. So I've heard of certain events that have happened around the country where like there's a main central event happening and a bunch of people start like having their own events at their house, and then the numbers for that main event kind of like, whoa. And if you have somebody local to you that's like hosting a big event, like ask how you can pitch in, see how everybody can come together and like do something. If the event's not working for your people, don't like try to put a square peg in a round hole. Don't do that. But if you have access to stuff like that, like see where you can pitch in and everybody can help and learn together. So I really relied on word of mouth. Imagine that in this amazing company called Young Living that we have. So word of mouth. So we had a Facebook event and we put it into our it was a public event, and I shared it into our Facebook groups. And then I asked my leaders to do the same. And I said, please share this with enthusiasm, because if you say, hey, there's this event coming, maybe you guys would like to go, then people are going to go, no, thank you. But if someone goes, hey, there's this event coming, I already bought my ticket and would love to have you come with me, that's a totally different way that they're going to hear that. So absolutely, for sure, you want to be sure that you are doing everything with a happy heart, with some enthusiasm. And we really just used Facebook. At this point, our rallies kind of, I don't want to say they sell themselves because that sounds silly, but because we have given people a standard to expect, they're excited to come back to them. So that's all logistical on my end at this point. But I think at this point we have awesome tools like Project Broadcast. That would be a fantastic way. If you have a lot of text messages to get out to folks, Project Broadcast is a fantastic way to text your entire downline if you want to, or to text parts of your downline, to text legs in your downline, to text leaders in your downline. You can break it out however you want to, but that's a really fantastic texting tool. You can also, just go in through Oily Tools and use the text message feature in Oily Tools as well. So texting totally works.
Yes, awesome. Nicole, you've been amazing. We only have about 4 minutes left, you guys. And I'm not sure if it's gonna kick us out at 4 minutes, so I just want to make sure we get some kind of closure just in case. But the only one thing I want to say, and then I'll open up to questions for Nicole until we get kicked off, I guess. Or for a few more minutes, but I just want to let you guys know we are gonna, so the goal is to get you guys the videos and PowerPoints on Monday, give you a few days to work with those, and then we actually want to do another host call. This is something new we want to start, where we have somebody from our marketing team and our training and education team, so that you guys can actually ask questions about, it's basically a train the trainer mentality. So how do I talk about this? Or I've never used this product before. This is a brand new convention product. So I don't really know how to, tell people about it because I haven't had a chance to use it yet. So we want you guys to have a few days with the PowerPoints, with the videos, so you can kind of go through it, get your questions together, and then we want to have that call so that we can help you guys better educate the people that are coming to your rallies. So we will schedule that. I'll send out another email. I'll post it on the Facebook page. This video will be posted. So make sure you guys let everyone know that didn't get to be here live today to watch this. This is such great information. Nicole, you've been so awesome.
If I can help in any other way, I'm happy to. I'm not always in that Live Your Passion group because we've done this so many times. We just kind of like roll. But if I can help in any way, if you guys have, and I'll put together a picture of a bunch of my swag from past rallies and post that. I know you guys have more questions about that.
Yeah, if you want, because you can do attachments on that page, you can do that. If you want to put a sample of your show flow, anything you want to post on there to help people, that's awesome. I love when people really utilize the Facebook page because there's so many times I get questions that have already been answered a million times. And so kind of going through there and being able to use each other, when I see that, it warms my heart. I love it. So that's all for me. Like I said, you guys will get another email soon. Just for the last couple minutes, what do you guys have for Nicole? And where's the Facebook page? I'll post it right in here. Make sure that if you're not on the Facebook page, you have to request an ad and answer the 3 questions. It's like, are you a distributor? Are you hosting a rally and in what country? Make sure you answer them, because if you don't answer them, we don't even get the request to confirm your ad request. So I will do that right now. Let's see.
I see a question about breakout sessions. Yeah, I can do that. So breakout sessions, we've done lots of things. I tend to teach, you guys probably teach subject specific stuff to your own teams, I would hope. If you don't, you should. But we've done breakout sessions on oils for men. We've done breakout sessions on oils in pregnancy. And my team is uber compliant. Like, we probably have the most compliant team. I'm doing an entire presentation on that at the Elevate conference in DC, Labor Day weekend. So none of these are non-compliant. Like, my team is on top of it with compliance. So oils in pregnancy, oils for men, ER, we've done a compensation plan breakout. We've done oils and emotions. We've done gut health. We've done hormones. We've done income disclosure statement and how to present the business to somebody else. We have done essential rewards multiple times. We always do a 101. We've done savvy classes. We've done classes on sleek. So if there's a starter kit, we've done a class, we've done a breakout session on it. We've done a Ningxia Red. Young Living makes it really simple and really straightforward. Oils of scripture. We've done oils. We've done Ula. We've done, if there is a kit, we've taught a class on it, basically. Teach to the kits, because then it's also really easy for people to understand what to purchase. If you start making up classes where you pull oils and products from like all over the place, then people feel really frozen and don't know what to go order to start implementing whatever you teach them. So it's really important to simplify so that that it actually turns into direct OGV. If people feel really overwhelmed with information, then they're not going to go order anything.
Yeah. Renata asked, what do you charge for people? Sorry, I just lost it. Oh. What do you charge if you're not charging per ticket? Was that what it was? Oh. So sorry. I had it right here and then.
Oh, I see. What do you recommend for people not charging an entry and only charging for things at the rally?
That was the one.
I've never done that before. I just charge an entry fee that covers anything that people would utilize at the rally. The exception is that one time we did a Ninja Red bar. It didn't go so well for us. It was really overwhelming. The space we were in was not good for like crowd flow for people. We have not done it since. I have used Ninja Red packets as part of swag, though. I do give Ninja Red away in large quantities. So I've never done that. So I'm probably not very helpful for that question.
If you're just hosting a rally in your home, do you think it's a good idea to have a small charge?
Oh, like if you're going to do like a make and take or like make rollers or like, yeah, you totally can. It's totally up to you. So I would either do it to cover your costs or look at it as an investment in your business, especially if it's directly for your downline. We put a lot of money into our team because I'm putting money into people, and people will give you back tenfold what you put into them. So if people feel super like nickeled and dimed for things, they're not going to want to come participate again. But if you maybe pose it as or present it to people as, hey, we're all going to make bath salts, and to keep it super cost effective, we can split the cost of everything, and it's just not going to be as expensive if we all just go in together on the cost, and then we can all walk away with something too. So if you pose it as a, hey, let's split the cost of this stuff so that we can all take home something fun, that's a lot better than, hey, welcome to my house. Here's your ticket. Where's my $5? Mm-hmm. So they're just different ways to present things. We can still end up with the same amount of money at the end, but you can make it feel very community oriented versus like, here's a ticket to get into my house.
You become a featured event. Okay, yes, Suzanne, so I can answer this for you, because I think you've asked this a few times about the featured event. So if you're talking about having like corporate representation, so we have a minimum of, you have to have at least 250 registered attendees. So that's the minimum amount. And then we do have a corporate request form on our rally page where you can click on it, fill it out, it comes to us, and you can request certain people. Not that you're always going to get those people, but you can make the request. And that's how we send out, decide how we send out our corporate request or our corporate staff. But whether you're getting a corporate staff or not, if you're doing a public rally, we post it on our website so people can go by state. So, if you're in Texas, they can click on Texas and they can find a rally that's in the area, and that might be yours even if they don't know you. So either way, if you did an online or a public rally, we will post it so people can come on and register. And that's why, like Nicole was talking about, Eventbrite and Oily Events, when you register with us, you register with that link, and that way we can post it so people can click on your page and see what your event's about, what time it is, see if it's for them. I filled out the corporate request form. You should be hearing today. If you filled out the corporate request form, we actually have a meeting 4 minutes ago to talk about that. So if you're getting corporate representation, you should be hearing from the person that's coming, I would say, by tomorrow.
And that is how you get the products from Young Living at your rally, is being a featured event, I believe.
Yes. And so other than that, if you're not somebody that's getting the product table, but you want to do swag, you want to do DIYs, and it's up to you to just, whether you have that stuff or you can just order it in advance. It does, come out of your pocket, but that's, like Nicole was saying, what is your goal here? Do you want to make money for the next one? Do you want to break even? Do you want to invest in your team and kind of eat the cost at first until you get rolling? But it's your event, so you get to decide that. Let's see. Is there a way for us to get logoed products for the rally? So in the host toolbox, and I've also posted them on the global Facebook page, are our graphics, our logos and banners. You can use those and make those into whatever you want. So you can pull those JPEGs or those PNGs and make them to be whatever you want them to be. Looks like my internet's not great.
I still hear me.
Gosh.
Okay,
Sorry, you guys.
but I will answer that question. If you guys have, if you guys have if you have logoed products that you want to do, if you have swag that you want to do, if you have sign language interpreters that you want to bring in, that all that cost is for you, even as a featured event. Like Young Living does not pay for any of that stuff for us. The cost for me to put on rallies, I know you guys are like, oh my gosh, she gets all this stuff from Young Living. The cost for me to put on rallies at this point is somewhere to the tune of $15,000. So, and that's like, right? So we're talking about, not only are we talking about like different numbers of people there, we're talking about very different budgets. So it's not like Young Living is paying for that. Like we are paying for that. My husband and I actually front a lot of that money, and then we get reimbursed with the rally ticket sales because Eventbrite doesn't pay out until 5 days after the event has actually happened. So there's a very large investment that goes on for me to put on rallies. So all of those logo products, those are all things that we pay for. They're covered in the cost of our ticket sales, but we put the money out up front, so we have them at our event, and then the ticket sales pay us back for them. So that, just keep that in mind. But it's an investment that I'm super willing to make because these rallies are growing and growing and growing, but you have to have those liquid assets in there to be able to do some of that stuff.
Yes, awesome. You guys, I'm so sorry. My internet connection is weaved in and out, even though I'm in the office. But so I think we're pretty good.
Yeah.
I'm gonna again post this on the Facebook page. So if you're not added, make sure that you request an ad, and I will add you today. So you can come back and watch this later or share it with other people. Nicole, you are so amazing. Thank you so much for taking the time to do this. And you guys, like I said, we'll schedule a host call for next week after you get all the collateral, so that we can do basically Q&A session.
Thank you, Laura.
All right. Thank you guys. Have a great day.